94, slowing down from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, northbound 43, backing up from North Avenue, pretty much all the way up to Keefe. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, cloudy with afternoon rain and snow mixed. Slushy accumulation is possible with a high of 42. Tonight, mix ends early, then cloudy skies with a low of 34. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime.
The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Tomorrow I will be interviewing the Commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred.
When do Gabe and I get to give you questions to
What
ask?
do you mean, when do you get to give me questions?
I feel like two.
I would ask you to stay tonight, but I only have the sofa bed, and it's where I sleep.
Well, we'll have to sleep head to toe.
All fans on this
What do you
station.
want to ask the Commissioner?
When's
What
he
I
gonna
said
juice the
earlier,
balls
when
again?
I said,
So where's my jacket?
Oh, I must have left it at James's.
Spent the night at James's, did we?
Yeah, but we reversed positions, so there was no funny business.
I got one. Are we still pretending like you can't see genitals through the player's uniform?
Yeah, classic. Uniform questions, hard-hitting journalism.
yeah, and you know how much I love talking about genitals, but I don't think that's going to make the interview either.
It's a great question, though, Josh. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on here.
Matthew.
Reverse position.
Yeah, head to toe.
So what? Your genitals are still lined up?
No, because I slept with my back to him.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chair is stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it.
It was a good night to be a Wisconsin sports fan. Bucks in action, Brewers in action.
Wasn't a good night to be a Bucks fan for about 3.5 quarters.
That's true. But all's well that ends well, as they say. So last night, Bucks and Brewers both in action. Brewers on the road. They end up winning their game. I'm going out of order here for effect. Because the Brewers game ended after the Bucks game ended. But in the Bucks game, they were getting absolutely worked by Minnesota. And the season is wrapping up, and there's a little bit of positioning occurring right now in the East, where the Bucks are going to end up, what seed they're going to have. And so you can tell that Giannis is like on another level right now. Triple-double, triple-double, triple-double. But last night they were getting absolutely smoked, worked by Minnesota. To the tune of they were down 24 points in the fourth quarter. And usually, Gabe, when the Bucks are down 24 points in the fourth quarter, what do we do?
I mean, usually anytime anybody's down 24 points in the fourth quarter in the NBA, that's just not going to happen. It's not your night. Down 24, you just pack it in. Not your night tonight. Call it a night. That's not what happened.
And before we get to how things shook out, I want to bring our guy Joshy in here. Because, Joshy, you've been known to wager, if you will.
Dabble.
Yeah, you're not much of it. You're not a dabbler. Dabbler is like casual. You're more than a dabbler.
Pot calling the kettle black right now.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't say I was a dabbler. So, Joshy, tell us about the wager that you had on last night's Bucks-Timberwolves game.
Yeah, I made an interesting. Bobby Portis was back. We didn't even announce that. Bobby Portis' first game back from suspension after the substance that, we went through all the claims of how that ended up happening. I made a bold bet. I said Bobby Portis going to have a double-double. Did it. Nailed it. Played well. Was obviously a big part of that comeback. Was a big part of the Bucks being in that game. I also wagered on, as part of this parlay, Giannis Antetokounmpo to have over 7.5 assists. Guess what he did? 10.
I mean, that's pretty good bet. I mean, that seemed like the easiest one because he's been on fire with the assists recently.
And then the last one, Anthony Edwards, young star, young burgeoning all-star, a guy who's probably going to have some deep playoff runs, make a big impact on the NBA for the next, 10 to 12 years?
Next decade.
Fair. All fair assertions by you, Joshy.
He needed to have 32 and a half, more than 32 and a half points and rebounds. He checked back into the game with 7 minutes. The game, I believe at that time, was either close to tied or the Wolves still had a lead.
The Wolves still had a lead at that point.
He needed 4 total points or rebounds in the final 7 minutes, and you would figure, hey, the best player on the opposing team in a game that's getting closer and closer would at some point score at least 4, grab a rebound.
Put the team on his back, right?
Well, the T-Wolves had a turnover per minute. He missed multiple shots.
You got nothing for the turnovers, right? That didn't count towards any totals?
Those are not for me.
Okay, all right. Those are just for Kevin Porter Jr.
Missed every single shot he took besides the one technical free throw. Grabbed 2 boards. Finished with 32 points and rebounds.
Hook gotcha.
Costing me $1,000.
That didn't cost you anything. No, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
You didn't lose 1,000.
I lost
you didn't
1,000.
win 1,000, and there's a difference.
No.
So you didn't lose. You just didn't win.
You're all wrong. You're all wrong.
No.
We're all wrong.
No.
What?
No, I meant him. He's all wrong. When you are within the hook and everything is done and you need, mind you, there are minutes to play left in this game and he needs a bucket. A bucket. 1 bucket. He throws the ball away once under the hoop just to nobody. He gets multiple shots and misses them. All while both of the other 2 bets had cleared. I'm in the clear on the other 2. I need 1. He goes to the free throw line, goes 1 for 2. I win. He makes a layup on a meaningless, defensive misassignment. He grabs a board for one of the missed shots. I have $1,000. He did none of that. I have no $1,000.
This is so rough, and I'm not laughing at you, Joshy, but as gamblers,
seems like
as gamblers, we've all been there where you're like, how? And as a fan, Joshy, and you are a Bucks fan, that game, that fourth quarter was fantastic to watch. Everything went the Bucks' way, man. You mentioned the turnovers. They had as many points, the Timberwolves, as turnovers in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
8. The fact that the Bucks were playing good defense, grabbing the ball, they had uncontested shots. Their all of it was great. It was so fun to watch. Except if you're Joshy and you need 1 rebound.
I was celebrating it too because in a lot of games in the NBA, you'll be on the ends of bets, and I'm sure if you've gambled at all in the NBA, there'll be times where your guy is the guy you have on a higher on a prop, an over on a prop. He just doesn't play because it doesn't matter because his team's winning by 30, and they're like, "Well, we're not gonna play our starters. This game's over."
Well, because when the fourth quarter started and he's not out there, you're probably sweating it out a little bit, knowing that you need those 4 points or rebounds.
Correct.
So when he comes back in with 8 minutes left, because the Bucks have sliced the 24-point deficit down to 14, you're going, all right, here we go.
I had already seen the money in my bank account. It was already there.
Is that the only way to get you to watch?
No.
You'd watch regardless?
I mean, I don't watch every single Bucks game, but yeah, if it's on, it's available to me.
Okay.
I don't watch every game, but if it's on television, it's a pretty good chance.
Look,
flip it on, see what's going, see what's happening.
I'm just happy about the rain-snow mix.
Ah, jeez.
What rain-snow mix?
Did you listen to Debbie Lasagna? And it's not because I want you guys to feel pain.
Yeah,
it's because I'm not coming back to Memorial Day, so I had to have a service cut the grass, and I don't want the grass to grow quick.
Well,
I think we need to do a little context for all those who maybe aren't listeners. Debbie Lazaga works at WTMJ, and she does our traffic report. So in the break, you'll hear our
let me
music.
tell you what. I was closer with lasagna than what you just said.
I said her real name.
He said her real name.
No, that's not how she says it on air.
That's exactly how she says it
No,
on air.
it is not.
Okay, who are we going to trust in this situation?
Say it
Somebody
again.
who actually has met and talked and had conversations.
I know
with
Debbie Lasagna.
You
I
know
love
what?
her.
I
She's
can
great.
run next door and grab Debbie if y'all want. We can have her come in and talk into that microphone right there and tell us how she pronounces her last name.
Say it again, Joshy.
Debbie Lazaga.
No, the back end is screwed up on you. Am I right or wrong?
You're not right.
Her name is spelled Lazaga. How would you pronounce
close. If you put an S, that's lasagna.
You're missing an N?
Lazaga. Lazaga is how she says it, right?
That's Jen. Yes. Josh, you don't say it well.
Are we saying the same thing?
I think we're saying the same thing.
They're the same picture.
No, it's not. It's not.
Lazaga.
You're too nasally on the back end. Jen, say it.
Debbie Lazaga.
Yeah, there you go.
So here's what I will tell you guys, and I know I've told you this story before, but maybe some people haven't heard it. I got reprimanded once, and you guys love hearing when I get reprimanded, so let me say it again. I got reprimanded once when I was in Chicago talking about Jaromir Jagr, because in the script it was talking about Jagr, but it just had Jagr, right? Once you've said Jaromir Jagr, you don't have to say Jaromir over and over again, so it just says Jagr. You know how you spell Jagr?
Jagr.
Right. If you see Jagr by itself, even in context, my brain goes, what the hell is that? It's one of those names that you need to see. I need to see the whole thing, because if you see what is it? GR?
Yeah.
My brain was malfunctioning. So I don't even know how I pronounced it, but it was not correct.
Jogger?
My boss was like, what did you just say? And I was like, I know. I should have put Jaromir in front of Jagr every time, just because seeing those letters in that order doesn't say Jagr to me. It's more of like, I don't even know now.
I mean, this was clearly during your younger days. You were going out a little bit more. You said Jaeger.
It's distinctly possible.
Yeah.
All I know is I didn't say the name
Couple
correctly.
Jaeger bombs.
Point is, Debbie Lazaga might be a name like that. Debbie Lazaga, you need the Debbie in order to pronounce the Lazaga. Maybe that's what Chewy's suffering from here.
Yeah. Well, take it from a person whose name gets butchered almost every day.
I thought he was going to say someone who butchers names every day.
Well, that too. It's
you are the world's foremost butcher of names.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Over and over and over.
Yeah. So I want to ask our loyal listeners this, because again, the Bucks are in. Yeah. The Bucks are in a bit. You're trying to win as many games as possible here to put yourself in a good position to get the 5 seed instead of the 6 seed. Take on the Pacers in the postseason, albeit on the road, and so. I'm not saying that these two things are mutually exclusive, but if you had to cheer for the Bucks winning that game last night or winning $1,000 on your parlay, what are we rooting for, gang?
Oh, 1,000 all day long. Twice on Tuesday.
This is
that's a big number. And when you look, I mean, you look at where the Bucks are in the standings. Like, even if they lose last night, they're still in the 5th spot. Like, they got 2 games left against the Pistons, that's the team they're trying to hold off so they can get that 5 spot and take on the Pacers. Like, in that specific instance, it's not the end of the world if they lose that. It's honestly
closer to the end of the world that I don't have $1,000.
Honestly,
on by the way, we haven't given this detail on a $20 bet.
Yeah,
like you didn't bet the house here, man. Like it was like let me just throw some cash that way.
I mean, honestly, again, and last night was fantastic. I watched the whole thing. It was so much fun to watch. I enjoyed myself.
The whole thing. You enjoyed the whole thing?
Well, I enjoyed the comeback. I enjoyed the entire 4th quarter. I enjoyed the entire comeback.
I was having a good time because everything was looking up. The Bucks are going to win.
Relatively speaking, our boy Joshy was set to profit more than the Bucks were with a win. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Josh would have profited more by winning his parlay than the Bucks by winning that game.
I couldn't agree. I thought I was going to get the double whammy. A win and a useless bucket. You know how at the end of the games when...
Oh, you just chuck one up?
Or even like when the game is that far, because what was the ending? How much did they win by in the
7,
end?
110-103.
A lot of times in those scenarios, the defending team who's leading will just let the other team score.
Yeah.
And they're like, what does it matter? There's 12 seconds left. You take a layup.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is foul.
Right.
Was the money already spent?
Oh, brother.
What were you going to get?
I was thinking, I need a new wedge. I was thinking put one of those in the bag.
$1,000, you get a couple wedges.
Yeah, I was thinking, there's some things around here. I need to get a new blower fan in my car. That's only $50, but hey, what's better than replacing your car with money that you hard-earned?
Yeah, sure.
Clicking some buttons and making some bets.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I am so sorry that happened, because I have been there where you are so close and it's like, and like you said, it's on the last leg And you're going, all right, we got this in the bag, baby.
But a miss bounces like an inch another way.
Well, that's what I would say is that's where you were going to get it was their shots were all off, right? And at the end, they're kind of chucking just to try to get in the game. All he has to do is snag the rebound.
Glances off
on
the rim,
one of those.
comes right back to him.
All it would have taken is a long rebound for whatever reason, just bouncing into his hands.
I mean,
or he could score a bucket because that's all he does. The guy scores tons of points.
He's a premier bucket getter.
T's and P's, Josh. T's and P's.
8 points in a fourth quarter as an NBA team. That is baffling.
I want to put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll this morning, just asking people if you were in this situation and one of the two had to happen. You either win the $1,000 bet, the 3-leg parlay hits, or Bucks have that incredible comeback victory over the Timberwolves last night. It was an exciting. I put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy poll last night. Is this the best quarter of basketball this season by the Bucks? Yes, or yes in bold.
It was the worst for me. The worst quarter I've witnessed in Bucks season.
Most painful for sure.
Yes. We'll put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. Lots of stuff to get to this morning. We do have Adam Schefter coming up. Adam Schefter can talk to us about the NFL draft, everything that's going on in the league. And what is this rumor now that the Packers may not be going overseas, may not be taking on the Steelers? We'll talk about that with Adam Schefter and more as the show rolls on. Stick around.
You hear me talk about Bunzels every week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You really need to check them out because they've got some great, fresh, all-natural specials this week. And look, I mean, there's a big day coming up. You know, maybe you want to kick back, have something. You know, I may be talking about something that's happening this weekend, that first major of the year. But, of course, Easter is coming up as well, and you want to take advantage of all the great deals at Bunzels, like hand-cut Atlantic salmon fillets, $14.99 a pound. Burgundy pepper marinated flat iron steaks, $11.99 a pound. Texas Popper bacon brats. Yeah. They're that good. $6.89 a pound. And again, don't forget to order your Easter hams, the lambs, Polish sausage, or pork roasts. You want to make sure you get those in because that's coming up later this month as well. I love Bunzels. It's where I go for all those premier cuts and just really anything that you're looking for. Just a fantastic meat counter at Bunzels. So stop by 90th and Burleigh. You won't regret it. Find all the weekly specials and that monthly meat deal at bunzels.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Earlier problem through the Hale interchange has been cleared up. That was on the ramp from westbound 894 to southbound on the Rock Freeway. It was a car that went off into the ditch. That's gone now, and so are the delays. They've dissipated pretty nicely. Westbound 94, just a quick tap of the brakes heading through the stadium interchange. Northbound 43 is going to be our slowest spot right now, right around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, cloudy with afternoon rain-snow mix. Slushy accumulation is possible with a high of 42. And then tonight, the mix ends early, cloudy with a low of 34. Tee off at Lake Lawn Resort's Majestic Oaks Golf Course, 18 holes lakeside in Delavan. Whether you're a pro or just starting, it's the perfect course. Book your tee time today at lakelawnresort.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Brewers baseball is here. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Don't miss any of the big games or the superstars. And come back for the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's every game all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But she doesn't know. Every now and then, I got the blammer coming up and like, I'll let you use my tractor for 2 of the blue things. Which I think's a pretty good deal. Which gets me in trouble.
You got a Viagra ring?
Yeah. On 94.5 ESPN.
Here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy as we continue thoughts and prayers to Joshy, who last night got to watch an exciting Bucks win, but ended up missing out on $1,000 on a 3-leg parlay by 1 rebound or 1 point. Just rough, difficult. So we're putting it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll this morning. Would you rather see the Bucks win that game? Get an exciting fourth quarter comeback victory back from down 24. I think I saw it's only been done like 3 times, like a handful of times. I don't know if it's ever, but
I mean, it could be down 24 with 10 minutes to play. Like that's done.
That's a lot.
That's done. That's over. 24-point comebacks in the second half would be pretty remarkable.
Did the game matter to Minnesota or no?
Yes, because the Western Conference, Chew, is an absolute mess.
Really?
Like between 4 in the West, between 4 and 8, there's 1 game difference.
Wow.
And Minnesota, by losing that game, fell from 6 to 8. So right now they're in the play-in because they lost that game.
I pulled up the article on ESPN.com. According to Sport Radar, this marked only the 5th time that a team has won a game it trailed by at least 24 points in the fourth quarter since 1996-1997, which is when the NBA started tracking play-by-play data. That's wild. The NBA wasn't tracking play-by-play data until 1996, 1997. So prior to that, you couldn't go and see what the play sequence was in a game.
Well, where are you going to go and find that in 1996, 1997?
Newspaper.
They're not printing that in the newspaper.
Somebody had to keep track of it. Just because it wasn't online, just wasn't available on the dub, doesn't mean somebody had to be tracking it, right?
Obviously not.
Do you think you go back and do that retroactively? You think you go back and watch film and start and log it and track it and then?
I mean, if you wanted to. I don't know what the purpose for it would be.
I'm just saying, would the league be interested in maybe having some of those games, locked up?
Turn on NBA TV in the middle of the summer and just watch whatever game you want.
One of
Track it yourself.
the things that Joshy mentioned was that Bobby Portis was back, and the energy that Bobby Portis brings to a game is still so undeniable. Chew, did you ever have a guy you played with like that who just, when he was on the field, just his vibe, his energy, his presence made all the difference in the world?
Yeah. Bryce Pop. He did it in practice, too. I'm like, Bryce, it's a walkthrough. Okay, you don't have to go 900 miles an hour, all right? And it's an offensive period. We're supposed to win this. he just had that kind of motor, and it even spilled over because he was my roommate on the road, and he was just high energy. I remember we'd stay at the Pfister when we were playing in County Stadium, and the first thing he would do is, we had our little fruit bowl with the apple and the orange and the banana, and he'd take an orange and just fire it against the wall. And I'd be like, what do you do? No, I swear to God. I'd be
fastball style?
Yes. I'd be like, what are you doing? I'm getting ready for the game, man. Okay, good, because it's 19 hours away.
You had the strangest roommates on the road.
I did. I had a lot of them.
You didn't have a single normal person that you stayed with.
Well, I had Yurko.
Yeah,
I love Yurko.
I don't know if I want to dig into the Yurko stories.
No.
Because...
But Yurko, when they were building the Hudson Center, we had mini camp in Arizona, and he snored so bad. Another mental picture because he slept naked, bad visual. I took my mattress and tried to get it into the bathroom, but I couldn't get it in, so it folded in the door. And I slept there.
Sleep taco.
Yeah. So then I booted Yurko, went to Bryce, and then I went to Jeff Thomas and JT. JT was one of these prim and proper guys. Dainty. I guess.
No.
Yes.
Chewy, no. Chewy, no.
He was very proper.
Oh, that's
and
fine.
I'm not proper. I'm not proper.
He was a tight
but I
end
would
in the
torture
90s.
him.
He's not going to be dainty.
I would torture him. Now, the room is based on seniority. Who was ever on the team longest makes the rules. So I would just do things like he's an Oregon guy. Thought air conditioning polluted. So I would turn it extra cold. The night before the NFC Championship against Carolina and Green Bay, I slept with the window open because I wanted to get my body acclimated to the cold. He thought I was, but I'd torture him like that. And then Jim McMahon.
I mean, you skipped over what he thought, but whatever he thought, he was correct.
Yes. And then Jim McMahon, who liked to watch movies till about 5 in the morning. And you know what kind of movies I'm talking about. And I'm like, Jim.
Not Disney movies.
I've got to play in the morning, okay? Okay, I got to play. Can we go to bed? Yeah, just one more, Chew, just one more. I'd be like, he was the quickest one because I think he was one game. He was also my roommate during training camp, and he would drink a 12-pack of beer every night. Maybe not every night, but a lot of nights.
Yeesh.
And I'm weak, so sometimes I would join him.
So you might have had one on occasion.
Yes, yeah. But he was interesting. Great guy. All great guys. Love them all. The best, but a little weird.
It seems to me one of the worst things that could have happened to a guy during his playing career is rooming with you. Because here we are in 2025, and you're just spilling roommate secrets. You're just telling all kinds of tales.
I wonder what they say about me. You think they say, like, yeah, Chewy, weird.
I mean, we could call up Yurko. He does work for the company.
Yeah, Yurko, I think Yurko was fine. Just snored like a chainsaw.
Well, and the naked sleeping seems to be something you weren't a fan of.
I think you snore like a chainsaw. I mean, I don't know, but I'm guessing.
Based on the stories.
Correct. The fact every time you wake up with a bruise on your arm.
Yeah, but you guys exaggerate things. And I mean,
who's you guys?
The wives, they exaggerate. They're I once caught a fish this big when the fish was actually this big.
Quick follow-up question here, Chew, because I know we have to get to Adam Schefter. Did your wife convince your buddy doctor who told you that you did not have sleep apnea but was with you guys in Florida this past weekend? Did she convince him by the time he left that you have sleep apnea?
Yeah, a slight case. Yes. It went from no on the plane to when he left on Sunday. Well, slight case.
Well, hold on.
Oh.
Is sleep apnea a thing you can be slightly? I thought it's like pregnancy.
It's a 1 or a 0 situation?
No. Because there's like 6 or 7 markers, percentage-wise. And I'm not. He showed me. He's like, no, you're fine. Actually, you're better than 5 and you're above average.
Oh, yeah, that's what he said. He was like,
the best sleeper of all time.
I love it. All right, we got to get to Adam Schefter. And I guess we're going to talk to him about the Masters, from what I gather.
He's going.
Maybe more.
He's on the way.
Stick around. Adam Schefter's next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we do have some delays eastbound on 94, starting at about 84th Street all the way through the stadium.
Good morning,
Interchange
how you doing?
westbound is heavy now from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43, watch for delays right around the North Avenue curve, stretching all the way up to Keefe. So far, so good with 41. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Cloudy with afternoon rain and snow mix. Slushy accumulation is possible, a high of 42. Tonight, the mix ends early, then it'll be cloudy with a low of 34. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
The Island Resort and Casino's stay and play golf packages for 2025 are filling up fast. Take advantage of early season package rates through May 23rd. A favorite among golfers, Island Drift Spa. Enjoy therapeutic or targeted massage, float therapy for deep relaxation, or new red light therapy to enhance muscle recovery. Book your Island Resort and Casino stay and play golf package today. Complete details online at islandresortgolf.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
Adam's on the phone. Adam, you got more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move. And he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
It's always hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. It just is. I wouldn't be surprised if they meet again, and I wouldn't be surprised if Green Bay is in that game and Green Bay has a chance to win that game.
Adam Schefter on JGC is sponsored by Island Resort and Casino. Gaming, casual, and fine dining. 2 golf courses, a luxury spa, and live entertainment. Your total experience is at the Island.
He is Adam Schefter, and he is our insider to all things NFL. Adam, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing?
Good. It looks like you're at home. Are you en route to the Masters? Are you headed there soon?
Going this afternoon.
Woo! All right. Well, safe travels. I know some of our colleagues had a tough time getting down there with some of the storms that were rumbling this past weekend and earlier this week. I want to ask you what you're hearing about the Packers potentially playing overseas. Mark Murphy has been doing the tailgate tour, and I guess he said something along the lines of the Steelers might want to protect the home game that they have against the Packers. Do the teams have a say in which of the opponents or which of the games ends up being the international game? What is your understanding of how the international games get picked?
Well, I know this, that teams express preferences to the league all the time. We want to open at home, or we don't want to be home in November. There's concerts, at the facility or whatever it may be. And the league takes note of all the requests that come in from all the teams. And I think the league tries to accommodate as many requests as it can. But, of course, it's impossible to do that. And if the league wants the Packers and Steelers to play in Ireland in the first game ever played there, which I would think that the league would, then even if the Packers don't want to give up that home game, the league may say it's for the good of the league, and that's the way it's going to go. Now, the league may say to Mark Murphy, okay, you want that. It's important. Steelers don't come through Green Bay very often. No problem. We'll get – so like it's just it's like bartering. Chip trading. Like what's important, what's not. You got to give up something to get something. So I don't know where the league is going to come in on this. I don't know how the situation will net out. I would guess that the league would want the Steelers and Packers to be the first game in Ireland. I don't know if they view that as too valuable a game to place there, or they might say, you know what, that's exactly what we want to do, even though Green Bay doesn't want to give up that game.
Adam, do you do a mock draft?
I don't. I've been asked to, and I don't feel the need to do that, and it's a very hard thing to do. And if you get 3 or 4 or 5 picks right, you're doing well. And so now all of a sudden, you don't know anything because you got 28 picks wrong. So I don't think there's any sense in me putting my name into that ring when there are so many mock drafts as there are anyway.
Who do you think will be available? I'm talking receivers available to the Packers at 23.
I think that's right in the range that Emeka Egbuka would be there.
Okay.
I think it's possible that Ted McMillan could be there at that point. Possible.
Really?
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not telling you he will be, but I think it's possible.
Do you think teams factor in, Adam? Because you look at all the receivers in the last 10 years that have come out of Ohio State, there really hasn't been any bust. They're even like Olave. He's still a good player. You got Marvin Harrison. You think that goes into their thinking like, we really can't go wrong with Ohio State guys. Let's take them. Even if someone may be rated a little bit higher at another school that doesn't have the same track record.
I think they've got grades on guys, and I think they're going to stick to that. Like, I don't know where Green Bay, rates Matthew Golden or Ted McMillan or Emeka Egbuka or, how those things compare to one another. And I don't think like they're saying, okay, well, Egbuka did go to Ohio State, and they produced Michael Thomas and Chris Olave and Marvin Harrison. And I don't think they're doing that. But, it's all part of the equation that gets factored into the grade that they have on the guy. And by the way, and a feeling you have on the guy, too, probably. Like just an overall outlook.
Well, and I know that Brian Hartline, who is the wide receivers coach there at Ohio State, is very well respected amongst the league. Obviously, former player, but the fact that he has had such consistent success developing these guys at the collegiate level and then them showing out in the NFL, it's a little cachet for him as well.
He's done a great job. They put out a tremendous number of receivers, and the interesting part is that maybe the single best one that they will ever put out is still there right now.
All right, Adam, like the draft, it's in a couple weeks. We can worry about that. The NFL season, months away. There's only one thing we should be talking about with you right now.
I agree. What do you think?
What's the first thing that you're going to do when you step on the grounds at Augusta National tomorrow?
I think the first thing I want to do actually is I want to get to the gift shop and get a bunch of things and get like Father's Day presents and get you guys hats and things like that. See, like I think I want to go do that.
You remembered.
You wouldn't forget. Adam, our buddy Adam wouldn't forget.
And get that out of the way. And like I think they ship it for you. I
yes.
think they do.
They do. When I was there in 2019, I did not know that, and that was like the best thing because then you'd have to walk around with like all the stuff or worry about, okay, how am I going to fit this in the luggage? Because I mean, people, I'm sure. I mean, it wasn't just us. I'm sure people oh, you're going to Augusta? Can you grab this for me? People just throw in the requests because it's hard to get to Augusta.
But Adam, do you have like a game plan? Like this group is teeing off that you want to see. I'll take them to the third hole, and then I'm going to cut across and go to 7, and then I should be able to pick up. Do you do that, or are you just going to willy-nilly it?
Willy-nilly. Like, again, I'm going to meet a couple of different people. I have not yet picked my golfer for this tournament yet. Last time I was there, my golfer that week in the pool was Bryson DeChambeau, and he had like a meltdown. And I watched him for 3 holes, and I couldn't take it anymore because it was freaking me out. Like I had to stop following the guy. And by the way, like I haven't even talked about this, but last fall I got invited out to New Jersey. Jack Giarraputo, the producer of Happy Gilmore, invited me out for the day, and they were filming, and I got to watch them film. It was Bryson, it was Scotty Scheffler, it was Rory, it was Brooks Koepka. I was with these guys that day when they were filming, and I was watching them. And I talked to Bryson for a little while afterwards, and he was incredibly thoughtful, smart, personable, great. I didn't tell him that I didn't have the heart to say to him, like, I couldn't follow you that day that I picked him. Like, it was so stressful. Yeah. I mean, I picked this guy, and I remember being on, I think it was the 5th hole, and he hits it behind the TV tower, and he's doing this, and he's looking up, and he's got his hands on his head. I'm going, aren't golfers? It's like, aren't they supposed to have a nice calm day? He's freaking me out. I can't watch this guy anymore, And since then, he's evolved into this incredible golfer. I don't know who we'll be picking, but whoever we pick, I'd like to, if I can stomach it, I like to follow them a little bit. But I got to tell you something. I followed a couple of golfers that I've picked. There was one time I went out with Colin Morikawa, Jordan Spieth, and Patrick Cantlay when they were playing at Liberty National in August. And the PGA Tour had me come in and go behind the ropes with these guys. And I had Spieth, and I remember he made a birdie on one hole. Like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I got to catch myself there, not to cheer for my golfer. And every time he hits a shot that goes out of bounds, I'm dying inside. Like, I don't even know how these guys do it. Like, I get all emotional over my golfer. So I have no plan, Chewy. I'll just kind of go. The one thing I do, I want to get the gift shop out of the way early. That I do want to do. And once I do that, then it's just kind of wing it, willy-nilly, and go from there. By the way, I also want to take this moment while I'm on the airwaves in Milwaukee to personally thank Ryan Rollins, the Milwaukee Bucks guard, for helping me over the weekend. I was in my fantasy basketball championship round against Kevin Pulsifer, a researcher at ESPN who does a great job. And all I could say is I was down on Sunday night at the end of a week. I don't know if you know how fantasy basketball works, but it's 9 categories. And our matchup was coming down to steals. Just steals. He was going to win 4. I was going to win 4. It was all about steals going into the last day. But at 8:46 Eastern on Sunday night, I was down 8 steals. 8. And I was in the second half. I had 4 guys left. White Lotus was about to begin. I was pissed off that I lost. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to send him a text now. And I don't like to be those guys that text ahead of fancy matchups being done because you never know. But this was over. Like, I was down 8 steals. He still had Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG and Nunby going. I had 4 guys in the second half. I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, congratulations. You were the best team all year long. He's like, well, a little early, but I'll take it. Thank you. Really worked hard, planned this out. And then about 20 minutes later, I see Fred Van Fleet on my team. He gets 2 steals. And then all of a sudden, it's 10:21 Eastern. And I get a text from Kevin Pulsifer again. He goes, he said, I don't want to say anything, but Torian Prince just got a steal. I picked up Torian Prince that day, and Ryan Rollins is going nuts. I'm like, Ryan. I looked down. Ryan Rollins, who hadn't had more than 2 steals in the game, had 4 steals.
Yeah.
Against the Pelicans.
This was the equivalent. This was the equivalent of being down 28-3 in the Super Bowl in the second half and coming from behind to win behind 4 Ryan Rollins steals, 2 Torian Prince steals, 3 Fred VanVleet steals, and 2 Andrew Nembhard steals. Like, it was wild.
All right.
Josh, that sting a little bit, Josh?
Yeah, that one hurts.
Huh?
That one hurts.
Josh lost $1,000 last night, Adam, on a bet
What?
he should have clearly won.
What?
Yeah, 3-leg parlay. He needed the hook for Anthony Edwards. A steal or a point would have won him $1,000.
Didn't make a bucket for 8 minutes.
You know how hard it is to get a steal. I got 9 of them in the final 40 minutes. It was unbelievable.
All right, since Ryan Rollins helped you, Adam, I don't want to be seeing any of this Pacer gear because it's going to be Bucks-Pacers in the playoffs, all right? You got the Bucks gear. I just want to be seeing the Bucks gear, none of that Pacers gear with the playoffs approaching.
I'm just telling you, look, I lost Dame Lillard from it. Ryan Rollins is my new favorite player. I'm just telling you. He will always be remembered. He will always be remembered as somebody that just saved my season.
That's great.
I can't believe in that entire story, which was wonderful, by the way, you casually dropped in that the producer of Happy Gilmore called you to see if you wanted to come out and watch them film some scenes for the sequel, which is coming out this summer, I believe, on Netflix. Adam, that doesn't happen to normal people. Normal people are not getting called to go watch them shoot Happy Gilmore 2. Like, were you excited? Were you like, I can't believe this is happening? Or were you like, just another day in the life of NFL insider Adam Schefter?
Jen, I just sent you the picture. You could show the guys, okay? So you can take a look at that picture. It was on a Tuesday. And it was like 2 weeks before the trade deadline, and I'm like,
look at this
I don't know if I can.
Look at this picture.
I'm like, I don't know if I can go. Like,
that's so sweet.
I mean, I don't know if I can go. Like, that's, oh boy. Like, I brought my brother-in-law and a guy that I'm friendly with. Those are the 2 guys that you don't recognize in that photo. And we walked out, and right. I mean, I knew it was one of those things. In fact, my wife. She's like, you're not going? I'm like, I don't think I can go. Like, I'm not going to go. She's like, are you out of your mind? You got to go. I'm like, okay. So we went, and it was like we're standing there, and Adam Sandler walks out, and he stops and talks to us for 10 minutes. And then we watched him shoot the scene with Shooter McGavin. And I mean, it was pretty cool, the whole thing. And like, I mean, Gabe knows how much I love watching these guys, and so to talk with Rory and Scotty and Brooks and Bryson, and I mean it was pretty cool.
And Adam Schefter and Adam Sandler, it's like my 2 favorite Adams.
Well, I got another great story there. I'm full of stories today. So back in it must have been the late 1990s. There was this PR guy named Chick Namias who used to work in the NFL, and he was helping do PR for a couple of movies out in Hollywood. So he had the idea to invite sports reporters like me, Peter King, Jay Glazer, John McClain, invite sports writers to be in the movie The Longest Yard that Adam Sandler was doing. And then not only did he have us film one scene, but he flew us all out to the premiere, because that way all the writers and all these newspapers are going to be writing about it. It's free publicity for the movie. So you think about it, if they put us in one scene, they fly us out to the premiere. What does it cost them? And they generate more than that in public. Very smart on his part. But I remember going to the premiere, and I step out of my car. They had, car service pick us up and take us to the Chinese Man Theater. And I get out of the car, and everyone's going, Adam. I'm like, I can't believe that people, these days I just made the move to NFL Network. They're watching NFL Network or whatever. Like, Adam. And I'm like, I turn around, and then I look around, and there's Adam Sandler. I'm like, right behind me.
That's a great story.
Man, these people love the NFL Network.
I know.
Adam, we've gone over time, but I do want to ask you one last thing before we let you go. What are you hearing on the Aaron Rodgers situation? We're still talking about it. We've talked about how it seems like the Steelers are the most likely destination. Will this thing get resolved anytime soon, or are we going to have to wait till after the draft to see what these teams do with their picks? What does your gut tell you?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, I think the Steelers are still waiting to hear as well. And I would say this, that their offseason program starts a week from Monday. So we're talking about 12 days or so. So, it's not like he's got to give them an answer today. Maybe he will. Maybe, he'll give an answer tomorrow or Friday when I'm on the course of the Masters and don't have my phone. That certainly could happen too. But I think they're just waiting, and that's the only place he has right now. And the question is whether he wants to play there. Everybody's in the dark, as is appropriate in this particular case, trying to figure out what he's going to do. And it's not like Pittsburgh can move off him and go get somebody else. So they're just in a holding pattern. They're waiting, and we'll see what Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, he's got some reservations about playing in Pittsburgh. Obviously, because they've wanted him all along, and they haven't gotten it done.
Adam Schefter, great storytelling this morning. We appreciate you. Safe travels down to the Masters. Have a wonderful time.
Enjoy it, bud.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you all, and thank you, most important, Ryan Rollins. You're the man.
We'll make sure that message gets to him. We'll make sure that message gets to him.
Our conversations each and every week with Adam Schefter, brought to us by our friends at the Island Resort and Casino. It's a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit islandresortandcasino.com and book your total experience today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Biz Expo is May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center. Spend the day at the kickoff keynote event on resilient leadership, thriving and enduring in challenging times, and make connections with customers and other business leaders. Learn from the experts at the strategy seminars on topics focused on technology and innovation, business growth, leadership, and manufacturing solutions. Biz Expo is Tuesday, May 13th. Register now to attend. Biz Expo is May 13th. Go to biztimes.com/bizexpo.
For their accounts payable workflow, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin implemented a document management and workflow automation solution from James Imaging Systems. Junior Achievement Vice President of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, highlights the positive impact.
That impact has made it much more streamlined for us to handle the entire process from receiving an invoice to having it paid.
How has streamlining your accounts payable workflow benefited Junior Achievement's mission?
It has allowed us to be more on mission and strategically reach out and expand our impact to be able to reach more students.
If others are looking for workflow automation solutions to better serve their clients or customers, what's your suggestion?
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Why would we trade our best player?
Well, at least you got to watch him in person when he was here.
I named my only son after him.
So you'll always remember his name.
Yeah, but what do I do with this jersey?
Luckily, the company has a great return policy.
I wore it for 6 seasons.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Harbor Freight knows time is money, so for our Spring Black Friday sale, we're getting straight to the deals. This weekend, you get 35% off jack stands, 56-inch roll cabs under $800, and 2,300 PSI electric pressure washers under $190. See? Straight to the point, so you can get straight to the savings. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until April 13th, 2025, while supplies last. Limitations apply.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
This is the story of the one.
As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up, guys? We're back this year with my annual Home Plate charity concert presented by American Family Insurance. We'll be at the Pabst Theater on April 17th with performances from the Goo Goo Dolls and the Nicotine Dolls. Proceeds will benefit Live Like Lou, Visit Milwaukee, and the Brewers Community Foundation. There are sponsorship opportunities and tickets on sale now, so click the link in my bio to check it out, and I'll see you there.
Christian Yelich's Home Plate charity concert, presented by American Family Insurance, April 17th at the Pabst Theater. Get your tickets now at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Did you know that fact, though?
No, I didn't.
You didn't know that fact?
Is that just a fact, Brig?
Yeah. I mean, that's what Chewy does. Chewy knows the most facts of anyone on the show.
He also knows the most fiction.
On 94.5 ESPN.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spins slot tournament. Conjure your rewards card and play your favorite slots to earn drawing entries. Every Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands of dollars in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info available online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play. Sorry, Josh, he wasn't trying to trigger you with the old Potawatomi read there.
I don't think I can feel better than I did last night. So at this point, it's just become funny to me. You know, one of these times I'll be on the right side of these messes.
That's what every gambler says. One of these times.
I've had some pretty good success. Won some cash on Lana Parlay, of course, code JGC. But the big ones, they're always just
kind of slip away.
Through the fingers, if you will, huh?
Yeah. We'll get there. I'm not going to stop shooting. Shoot or shoot.
That's right.
I'll tell you that forever.
Shoot to get hot, shoot to stay hot.
Love that. If you missed any of the Adam Schefter conversation, of course, you can find it wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, you name it, we've got it. And that was great. Great storytelling by Adam Schefter. Have you ever been in that situation before, though, guys, where somebody is waving at somebody who you think is you, so you like, throw a wave over, and then they're like, no, not behind you. And then you look around, oh, yeah. That guy, yeah. But I mean, in his instance, it was Adam Sandler who was behind him at the movie premiere. God, what a life Adam Schefter has. Chew, you've been to a movie premiere, haven't you?
Yeah, Reggie's Prayer.
Well, that counts.
They do that at Reggie's house? Is that where that premiere was? Straight to video?
It was at the Midway Hotel in Green Bay. No, but I do the opposite all the time. Matter of fact, I just did it a couple weeks ago where we were at a St. Patty's Day celebration, and I'm waving to this guy. I'm like, hey, come on, come have a drink with us. And I'm like, Ange, that's Todd. She's like, that's not Todd. I'm like, yes, it is. No, it's not. And the guy comes over and is like, what do you want? I'm like, you're not Todd.
Get away from me,
I do
not
that
Todd.
a lot. Yeah.
He's like, I know.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, but why didn't you trust your wife when she told you that?
That's a good question, Jen. Very good question.
It's a loaded question, but
it's one that unfortunately doesn't have an answer. It may never have an answer.
She's just trying to look out for you, big guy. She's just trying
now
to keep
she
you
just
on.
lets me go. She's like,
well, yeah, you stop
be a
listening
fool.
to her.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I would tell him that that's not Todd, but he never listens, so go ahead.
And she's hoping you learn the lesson on your own.
No,
but she should know
never.
by now that you're not learning a lesson on your own.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Go invite not Todd over again for a drink. All right, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to in the second hour of the show. Mel Kiper was on Wilde and Tausch yesterday, gave some insight, some thoughts as to the direction that the Packers will go in the NFL draft. We'll get into that right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we do have some delays eastbound on 94, starting at about 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Westbound is heavy now from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43, watch for delays right around the North Avenue curve, stretching all the way up to Keefe. So far, so good with 41. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Cloudy with afternoon rain and snow mix. Slushy accumulation is possible, a high of 42. Tonight, the mix ends early, then it'll be cloudy with a low of 34. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Island Resort and Casino's Stay and Play golf packages for 2025 are filling up fast. Take advantage of early season package rates through May 23rd. A favorite among golfers, Island Drift Spa. Enjoy therapeutic or targeted massage, float therapy for deep relaxation, or new red light therapy to enhance muscle recovery. Book your Island Resort and Casino Stay and Play golf package today. Complete details online at islandresortgolf.com.
Strong mind, strong body, and strong communities. That is what you need to know about the Princeton Club, and that is what you can achieve at the Princeton Club of New Berlin. When you walk in there, you will feel completely motivated to better yourself just like everyone else is doing. I've done personal training. They have saunas. They have workout classes. They have basketball courts. They have indoor-outdoor swimming pools. It all starts with a tour. Check it out. You're going to fall in love. Free childcare with the membership, open 24/7. Check out the Princeton Club of New Berlin. Get your tour and take that small step to a bigger journey for a better tomorrow. That's at theprincetonclub.net.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Brust and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Tomorrow I will be interviewing the Commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred.
When do Gabe and I get to give you questions to
What do
ask?
you mean, when do you get to give me questions?
I feel like
I would ask you to stay tonight, but I only have the sofa bed, and it's where I sleep.
Well, we'll have to sleep head to toe.
All fans on this
What do you
station.
want to ask the Commissioner?
When's
What
he
I
gonna
said
juice the
earlier,
balls
when
again?
I said-
So where's my jacket?
Oh, I must have left it at James's.
Spent the night at James's, did we?
Yeah, but we reversed positions, so there was no funny business.
I got one. Are we still pretending like you can't see genitals through the player's uniform?
Yeah, classic. Uniform questions, hard-hitting journalism.
Yeah, and you know how much I love talking about genitals, but I don't think that's going to make the interview either.
It's a great question, though, Josh. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on here.
Matthew.
Reverse position?
Yeah, head to toe.
So what? Your genitals are still lined up?
No, because I slept with my back to him.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chat is stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth. She
As we get closer and closer to the NFL draft, you are going to see more and more of Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper, who's been covering drafts for decades. Not 4, as in the number 4. It could be 4 decades. I don't think it is. But he's been covering the draft for decades. Wow, that didn't help either.
Say hi to Gabe for me.
That's my guy.
Silent Neitzel. There we go.
Yeah, I bet it is 4 decades, though.
Wait a minute.
How do you know I'm good?
How
You
have I
done
never
shows with
heard Silent Neitzel before?
Silent Neitzel. There we go.
It's a great nickname.
I mean, that's one that I can't remember the producer we were working with back when Mel still had his radio show. Did a couple shows with Mel, and I really enjoyed working with him. Chewy, you would love Mel because he doesn't have a cell phone.
Oh, I like that.
The only way to call him, he's got landlines in his house. That's the only way to get a hold of him. Either that
Amazing.
or email. He does not have a phone.
I believe he uses his wife's cell phone for the 3 days of the NFL draft, then goes back to house phone.
Yep.
Because he's on the road and going to be needing to contact people. But 3 days a year, he says, "Excuse me, wife, can I borrow your cell phone while I go to work?"
That is wild. Yeah. That's crazy town. For what it's worth, a little housekeeping here. Mel Kiper Jr. has been covering the NFL draft for ESPN since 1984, making his coverage span 4 decades.
Yeah.
How about that little play on words that worked out for me? So Mel Kiper was on Wilde and Tausch yesterday, and man, they talked about a lot. So this is sort of a dealer's choice. I got the little wheel over here. I could give it a little spinny spin. But, Gabe, what do you want to hear from Mel Kiper? He talked about wide receivers. He talked about Emeka Ibuka. He talked about pass rush options. He talked about defensive positions in the draft. What do you feel like Mel Kiper is going to give us the best insight on?
We had a good conversation about wide receivers yesterday. Let's hear what Mel has to say about the wideouts.
It's not. It really isn't. I think certainly Travis Hunter is a great player, but he can play corner or wide receiver. But Matthew Golden has come on to really establish himself as the number one wide receiver. You just take Travis Hunter out of the equation. Tedero McMillan has slid down just a bit, but I still like him coming out of Arizona. We talked about Ibuka. Luther Burden III was expected to be out of Missouri, a top 15 pick. His stock dropped. It's come back a little bit. I think he's a borderline late first, early second. I mentioned Jack Best from TCU. His teammate Savion Williams has a chance to be a good second, third round pick for somebody. And Jaden Higgins from Iowa State's moved up to the point where he could be, like I say, solidly in that second round discussion, as will his teammate Jalen Noel from Iowa State. And an underrated player, I think, is my kid here right around in my area in Maryland, the Terrapins, is a kid named Ty Felton, who caught a lot of passes. I thought tested well, good athlete with sure hands and toughness. Kyle Williams is a really good game breaker, deep threat out of Washington State. So there are some guys. Jalen Royals, Utah State, a little underrated. But these are all these guys I'm mentioning are basically, I think 6 to 7 will go in the second. I think another 5 or 6 in the third. So first round, though, you're probably going to only have, after Hunter, 2 to 3 probably. Some think 4. I think 2 to 3 receivers after Hunter go in the first round.
Holy moly, that was a lot of names. He was saying that the class is not super deep.
Because he doesn't have a cell phone, his brain hasn't turned to mush, so he just has all that information up there, just ready to go at all times?
It's possible.
When I listen to him, I hear somebody so elated to be talking about the NFL draft and prospects. He just can't contain himself.
When I start saying names, it just comes out of him.
My question would be, okay, what's your hit rate? Not even the player, but what's your hit rate over the last 5 years for the Packers? Like when they took Van Ness, did you have a DN slated there? Or when they took Stokes, did you have a corner? I'd be more interested in that than the player.
So, well, the one thing I know Mel doesn't, he obviously does the mock drafts. His big board is the thing that he puts the most of the effort into. Just because, again, with the mock draft, you're trying to get into the head of 32 different people who are making the picks, where he stands by his big board of, hey, here's how I have evaluated these players. Here's who I think, based on my evaluations, these are the guys that are going to be better than the other guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're
saying.
saying.
It's just too hard. All you get is one wild card in the draft, one wild card GM/coaching group, and all of a sudden, anything you thought about the order and the fit and all of that stuff goes out the window.
Well, and that's the Giants are that pick this year. Like in the first round, and usually in the first 5 picks, okay, which way do they go? If the Giants take Shedeur Sanders, that like pivots everything else behind it.
Yeah.
If they take whoever's left between Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter, whoever the Browns don't take, then okay, now where does Shedeur Sanders fall? Like it's just that's kind of the pivot point of the early first round this year.
One of the details that stood out to me about all of that stuff that Mel said, and by the way, he reminds me of my daughter when she gets off the bus and she wants to fill me in on the entire flipping day at school, and you're like, oh, hey.
Give me a second. Let me process the information you just gave me.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of it. She's just like unloading. Was that Tech McMillan is seeing his draft stock fall. Now, I think some of that is a perception that he struggles to separate. Is that what I'm reading here on the old internet? Top speed, but some scouts and analysts wonder whether he is able to beat press man coverage at the NFL level.
He'd fit right in.
Yeah, right. With Jaden Reed, etc. He's known for his aggressive approach at the catch point and his ability to make contested catches, but they're concerned that he will not be able to separate from defenders. That's what I'm reading again on the internet. The only reason I bring it up is because I think, Joshy, you've been high on him as a good fit for the Packers. I always thought he was never going to be available when the Packers pick at 23. Is this sort of working in the Packers' favor, this alleged drop?
Yeah, I think people were expecting a little bit more for him in terms of athletic testing and explosion, because those are the two things that relate highly to sort of being a top-end separator. I think he's people are looking at him as sort of a DK Metcalf light, or some of the bigger body guys that don't really separate. They just win at the catch point. And I think in the first round and at especially in the top 15, you want a true separator. You want a guy who's going to win time in and time out and not kind of have to do the bully ball type of stuff. So that seems to be his whole. He's huge for a wide receiver. It's just the top end separating and being, because that's what the true wide receiver ones in the NFL are. Guys who get open quick, and stay open. And that doesn't seem to be the strong point for him. But obviously you're projecting, like he played at Arizona. Some of those like he looks great against some of those guys and he's getting wide open, but that's not NFL competition.
Yeah, Big 12 defenses have never been known for.
I'd be interested to see what Mel said about Christian Watson and how accurate he was with that. Because that's all that really matters. I mean, that's hit rate, right?
Yeah.
Now, why wouldn't you be more interested in that? You know?
So,
does
like,
he know
if
football?
he had
Does
Christian
he know
Watson?
I mean, I know he knows football, but how well does he know football?
So that's what I think I'm trying to nail down to. What do you, again, I don't think anybody has ever gotten a perfect mock draft. And he doesn't even prioritize the mock draft. What he's prioritizing is these are I'm throwing out an arbitrary number here, 32 top players that I think will go off the board first based on talent. Not based on fit, not based on need, right, and any of these other like things that the teams obviously have to consider. But he's saying these are the top, I think, athletes in the draft, or who he perceives will go the top, 32 picks, if you will.
Like if I was to critique Christian Watson, haven't seen him play for a handful of years, I'd say great top end speed, separates very well, played against mediocre competition, hands are a little questionable, and not a very good route runner. That if he said that in his evaluation, I'd say, all right, he's pretty spot on.
I guess also, like, I don't know what it would do to go back and point out the things he got wrong, because NFL teams get it wrong constantly.
Yeah.
Like what makes a draft so interesting is you can form an opinion based on the information you have of them in college and some of the testing stuff. But every single year, there are massive, massive busts, and there are guys later in the draft who no one cared about that end up producing in ways no one ever thought. That's the great equalizer of the draft, is even those guys who spend their entire life dedicated to recruiting and evaluating talent for their teams in the NFL, they get it wrong 50% of the time, maybe more.
Yeah. And I asked Ron Wolf that flat out when I was done playing, and he's like, you know what? I didn't draft football players. I drafted combine guys, and there is a balance. You know what I mean? There is a balance between, the measurables and what the production is on the field and the competition they're playing.
I think that might be one of the fairest critiques, because I'm always going to side with the athletes. If you look at all the best players in the NFL, they test well. But the one thing I would say Brian Gutekunst and the Packers undervalue is actual production and just being a football player. It needs to be.
I would agree.
It needs to be a part of the equation. You don't have to make it everything, because there is some projecting, and you do have to have that skill. But you also you need to find ball players. It's that simple.
And you know what the proof is, Joshy? You know what the proof is? Goody rarely hits 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th free agents. He doesn't hit them a lot. That's where you choose football players. Maybe he had a bad combine, runs a 4.9. Let's take him in the 6th round, but he can play football.
When is the last time the Packers had a 6'5" receiver?
Has it been ever?
Probably Javon Walker. Javon Walker, the closest.
I mean, Christian Watson's 6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Javon is 6'4", too. 6'5"?
It's a big receiver.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, from a target standpoint,
Yeah, Javon was 6'3".
Think about that catch radius.
Yeah.
If you're Jordan Love, aren't you licking your chops at thinking about Tucker Kraft 6'5", maybe Tet McMillan 6'5"? Like, I don't know. There's a part of me that is like licking my chops at this perceived or this alleged drop by McMillan, going, yeah, you're right, stinks. Nobody should draft him. In fact, he should probably fall to the 2nd round, And again, I am conscious of, guys, I want to be clear on this. I am conscious of the possibility that stuff gets put out there as well by teams who are hoping that a guy like him will fall to them.
You know what? I mean, Tet McMillan, the guy stinks. That's what everybody's telling me. Everybody,
I'm
that's
hearing.
Right here.
Who who does Mel have in going to the Packers with the 23rd?
Michael. Oh, Michael?
Yeah.
Michael Williams, who's a defensive edge rusher from Georgia, which, again,
Georgia defense.
Goody loves his Georgia defenders.
Yeah.
Although, what is the success rate on Georgia defenders for the Packers?
Depends upon how you feel about Quay Walker.
Stokes or...
Moving on.
I'd say they got one whole player out of all the 3 they drafted.
Yeah, fair.
If you combine the positive traits from all of them,
yes,
you get one good player.
And again, yet Philadelphia somehow managed to get all the good ones. Went with the same draft strategy and ended up with all the good.
Kind of
Georgia
like
players.
Joshy's betting.
Oh, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, but it felt good.
Say you're sorry.
Say you're sorry.
See, because it's
The
you,
man an
I'll say
apology
sorry.
and that he is fired.
No, because it's you, I'll say I'm sorry. But if it was Ashton, no way in hell would I say I'm sorry.
That's why I love you, big guy.
Yeah, you're my guy. Love the hat.
Now it's a gush fest.
Brian from McGuanago weighing in on the carbless talk and text line saying, did we forget about Alan Lazard? I'm going to be honest, I did. Totally forgot.
That was by design.
About Alan Lazard. But he is 6'5". So, yeah, you did have a big target. Yep. I would hope that Tet McMillan is better than Alan Lazard. I guess
Didn't
I'm
realize
hoping
he was
if he's
6'5" because he probably played smaller than he was 6'5".
Played like he was 6'1".
Guess my hope is that Tet McMillan in the first round of the NFL draft would play better, bigger than Alan Lazard did. Alan Lazard, good player. He served the Packers well.
He was a fine player. I don't know if I'm saying
Useful, great blocker.
He was a fantastic blocker. Really good blocker.
Take a break. Be right back after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Mentality, local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Because no matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. And you can feel like you did years ago. Compete at work and sports like you did years ago. Because again, maybe you're kind of tired, groggy, just don't feel like yourself, trying to figure out, hey, what's going on with me? Those could all be signs of low testosterone, and Mentality can help you much like they helped me. I didn't realize I was dealing with low testosterone. Thought I was just, getting older, a little more tired. It's the way it is. It doesn't have to be that way with our friends at Mentality, and it's simple. Just set up an online meeting with Mentality's team that fits your schedule. There's no better safe and insured medical solution available. Start by going to their website, lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Make sure you don't have low testosterone. And if you do, you can deal with it with Mentality at lowtusa.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Trouble on northbound 41. We've got a crash right about at Burleigh. It was in traffic in the right lane. Now it's off on the right shoulder, but we've got big delays all the way back to the Zoo interchange. Southbound has its own accident at Silver Spring off on the left shoulder. Folks are getting past that one without much of an issue. Northbound 43 backing up from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slow from about Hampton Avenue to about Burleigh. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, cloudy with afternoon rain and snow mix. Slushy accumulation is possible, a high of 42. Tonight, that mix ends early, cloudy skies then with a low of 34. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in the Milwaukee market today. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks. And enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Though, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like a, oof, like just instead of a, huh.
Yeah. But that's all part of taking the training law.
I do, but it's just such funny noises.
Did this get sexual or something? I don't know about it. What the hell just happened?
On 94.5 ESPN.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion and artistry and flavor with sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces the addition of an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com. We'll pivot off the Packers for just a moment. I sent this to y'all yesterday in the group chat. I want to decide what is the best complimentary bread. And this is close to my heart right now because I'm on this high protein diet, so I'm not allowed to have a lot of bread. So when I saw this, you can imagine I started salivating immediately. So you got to pick 3, but I really want to narrow it down to the 1. Between Olive Garden, Texas Roadhouse, Cracker Barrel, Cheesecake Factory, Red Lobster, Outback Steakhouse, Macaroni Grill, Carrabba's, and Ruby Tuesdays, what is the best complimentary bread? Now, I got to be honest, Chew. My brain immediately went to the Cheesecake Factory, the brown rolls. Everybody loves the brown bread. Every time you go to Cheesecake Factory, they ask, do you want more brown bread? Because nobody is eating the white bread that comes in the little metal basket. But we went to Olive Garden a couple weekends ago for unlimited soup and salad, and those breadsticks, undefeated.
Yeah, it's Olive Garden. Next question.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's particularly close.
You're missing one, but I understand why you missed one. It'd be number 2 on my list. I have a box of it always in the cupboard.
Cheddar Base.
What's that?
Is it the Cheddar Base?
No. Famous Dave's cornbread.
What?
It's the best. It's the absolute. You ever have it?
Is that complimentary though, or do you have to pay for the cornbread at Famous Dave's?
No, that's complimentary.
Okay.
All right, well, yeah, that's a big miss then by them.
Order.
In fact, I get rid of the Carrabba's and the macaroni grill. What is that macaroni grill thing? Is that a focaccia they're trying to get me to dive into there? The Outback Steakhouse knotted rolls or whatever, that looks awful. I've never had it. It looks terrible.
It looks adjacent to a cinnamon twist, just without the cinnamon and sugar.
Your guy's number one was the Olive Garden?
No, I'm debating, honestly, because I love a Red Lobster cheddar bay
The
biscuit,
best,
right?
number one.
Love, but you got to have the butter. It's got to come with the butter. It's got to be melty on there.
Yeah.
And then underrated, guys, Cracker Barrel biscuits. They look in this picture horrendous.
Hockey pucks, they look like.
But they are soft, they are warm, and they come with the honey butter. And that honey butter with the Cracker Barrel biscuit, guys, is also... It's a goat.
I'm out on anything Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel sucks.
What?
In 20? Hold on. In 20?
Terrible.
20?
No.
Hold on.
Seats are uncomfortable. Food's less than mediocre.
What about the little game you get to play, though?
Yeah, the little jumpy game.
Only good thing that can convince me that exists at Cracker Barrel.
I mean, it's gold tees, for goodness
sakes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only good thing. But guess what?
33
it's not
years.
Dave & Buster's. I'm not there to play the games. I'm supposed to be eating the food.
In 33 years of living in Green Bay, I've never been to a Cracker Barrel.
What does Green Bay have to do with it? There's Cracker Barrels everywhere.
In Wisconsin. In Wisconsin.
Anywhere there's an interstate, there's a Cracker Barrel.
Chewy, you're not missing out on anything. I
Really?
wouldn't worry,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's-
worry about it.
Disagree. I love a good Cracker Barrel
never been
breakfast.
I've never been. Yeah.
Chicken and dumplings? Oof. The little casserole? I really think you're eating the wrong things at Cracker Barrel.
Gabe,
I
would
haven't
you
been to
take...
Cracker Barrel in 15 years.
Did you have a bad experience? Did something happen?
No, it's the seats are uncomfortable. The food's not very good.
Get you a cushion for your hemorrhoids if that's what's happening.
What's the farm place? What's the farm place off the highway in Pewaukee?
Machine Shed.
Machine Shed. Gabe, is Machine Shed better than Cracker Barrel?
Yes.
Yeah. I love Machine
You could have said just about anything there, and my answer would have been yes.
Really?
Just full disclosure, you could have said just about anything there, pal.
Josh, they're not a sponsor, are they? Because I don't think they're ever going to be.
I was going to say, would it matter? Take them out left and right. All right,
there are only two restaurants I hold with this type of disdain, and Josh knows the other one in New York.
I can't believe I had no idea. I had no idea you were out on Cracker Barrel.
Yeah,
Again,
all the way out.
Can I just bring in some Cracker Barrel biscuits with the honey butter and just see, maybe we do a little taste test
If
and
they
try
look
it?
anything like this?
Again, the picture, that's what I said. The first thing I said about the Cracker Barrel photograph is not a great picture.
Like if
right?
I tried to punt that, I would hurt
my
foot.
It's like if you were on a dating app and you saw that, but you swipe right past, but I'd be like, no, she's got great personality.
Now the
if
Outback.
Bryce Pop were to chuck that against the wall, it would leave a hole.
Now the Outback picture is not very good because that looks like something a dog does on the front yard.
100% correct. It does look like doo-doo.
That is bad. That is, yeah.
So are we narrowing it down to Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Cheesecake Factory? Or am I missing something else?
Some people are going to stump for the Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, I've never been to Cheesecake Factory, so I don't know what their bread's like.
I have, but I don't remember the rolls.
Yeah.
You can buy Cheesecake Factory bread at the grocery store. Just so you know.
Okay. I don't think it's a good thing that we've been there and the bread didn't leave a lasting impact from Cheesecake Factory. I've been there a few times.
Josh in Lake Geneva wants to know, if you're anti-Cracker Barrel, are you also anti-Waffle House?
No, I mean, Waffle House has a certain... I mean, charm doesn't seem like the right word, but I think I'm going to go with charm.
Yeah.
Vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, again, it's the southern version of George Webb.
Yes, it is.
That is a very good point. It's like Southern Cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like you don't expect the kitchen to be very clean, right?
No, I'm not. No, again, I know what I'm getting myself into when I walk into a Waffle House.
Yeah, but what did Al McGuire say about the dirty apron or something like that when he walks into a place? Like, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the old Al McGuire, but there was something that he said about walking into a diner and
You are the foremost expert on knowing half of what you're trying to tell us.
Which is impressive, considering Chewy is another host on this show.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
70% there.
Al McGuire, dirty apron. Okay, maybe it's not apron. Shoot. Well, it's not going to be fingernails. I'll tell you that right now. It's not popping up. Maybe I'm way off. I'll figure it out in the break. Are we missing on one of these complimentary breads? Is there a chain? Is there a franchise out there that has decent complimentary bread? The Olive Garden breadsticks, very good.
They're so
Yeah,
good.
they're
You get them a little bit warm.
Soft.
Yeah, exactly
You
what you're
dip
looking
them
for.
in the salad dressing or in your soup, whatever soup you choose. It's great. Ugh. I'm getting a little hungry. All I've had this morning is my protein coffee. So,
do you guys have Olive Garden dressing in the fridge?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I think everyone. Why? It's the best, hands down. It's so good.
I don't know. We just don't.
I can drink that
The
stuff.
what is it? Zuppa Toscana.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll eat that
Yeah,
by the
that is
gallon
good.
full.
What about?
Josh is just sitting there watching the Bucks game last night, taking drinks.
Just swigs of it.
Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on.
Treating it like it's Cheese Whiz.
Okay, so Stevie has texted in on the Carbless Talk and text line saying, if the waitress has dirty ankles, the chili is good. Now, I said dirty apron, so my brain again.
Again, you got the A part of the word, I guess.
I didn't remember that there was a chili reference in there at all. And I don't know what exactly Al was trying to say there, but I knew that there was an Al McGuire with dirty something at a restaurant, and so I'll take half credit, sir.
I think he quarter. I don't even know if he meant what you think he meant.
I have no idea what he meant.
I'm further away from the answer than I thought I was.
AC and Tosa says Fazoli's bread is better than Olive Garden's breadsticks. Has anybody had a Fazoli? Wait, isn't Fazoli like a pizza chain?
No, it's
like Italian.
Fast
quick food.
Italian.
Yeah.
Every time I see Fazoli's, I can't help but laugh at the idea of somebody going through a drive-thru, ordering a plate of pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fazoli's is one of those places. So when I was doing games for the Mallards in the Northwoods League, like they would set up meals before the game that the team would go eat, and they traded out. I'm convinced the Fazoli's in Battle Creek, Michigan, we were only sent there to try to, kind of get the team worse for wear before they had to play a game.
Really?
That was terrible. Terrible experience at the Fazoli's.
Did everyone get sick?
Hey, it wasn't good. Bus ride back to Madison wasn't a fun one. Let's
Windows
put it that
open.
way.
I'm thinking Boston Market had a good roll. I used to
They
love
had good
Boston
cornbread.
Market. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Maybe you're just a cornbread guy, Chew.
Yeah.
I think that's
I'd
what we're
always go
learning.
there and get the meatloaf. Oh, so good. Nothing
They had the
like
best
a good
mac and
meatloaf.
cheese in the world.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Are they
that is-
around anymore? Or
I
are
don't
they
think so.
I do not believe
completely
so.
I couldn't tell you the
closed
last
down?
time I've heard or seen a Boston
There
Market.
used to be one up in Glendale.
Yeah.
I don't know if
There
it's
was
still
one on Highway 100 that I'd go to all the time.
I got more love for Fazoli's on the old Carbless Talk and text line. Kyle in the 920 has got a Fazoli's vote here. Fazoli did not make the list. Again, I think there's a few things here that we could eliminate. Macaroni Grill, Carrabba's. I haven't heard anybody stooping for them. Outback Steakhouse, again, we have eliminated that. We're down to Red Lobster, Olive Garden, and I guess you guys, if you had to choose between Cracker Barrel and Cheesecake Factory, is there one or the other? Ruby Tuesdays, is that still a thing? Are Ruby Tuesdays still a thing?
Highway 18, is that one still out there? I don't
I'll tell you
know.
the last time I've, again.
See, the problem with biscuits is they have no taste. They're just so. Ugh. Ugh. It's like remember the old strawberry shortcake that your mother would make, and it was just like, God, it's just hideous.
Nope,
No?
I don't remember that.
Maybe it was my mom.
It seems like a Charlene experience.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Ruby Tuesday as a company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in October 2020.
Bob Evans, you guys in on Bob Evans?
The one in Greendale was the last Ruby Tuesday ever, and it closed in 2022.
R.I.P.
Really?
So
what do
I think we
decide
eliminate
on?
Ruby Tuesday, seeing as how they've eliminated themselves.
It's fair. It's fair. What do you want to do, Josh? You want to put this on the old Jen Gabe into a Twitter poll? You want to go Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Cheesecake Factory, Cracker Barrel? It sounds like Cracker Barrel's going to lose, but if we got 4 slots.
We can fashion something up here.
All right, because again, these other ones it seems like are not getting a lot of love. Although Fazoli's has got a huge cult following on the internet,
I didn't know
guys.
Fazoli's had it like that. I thought it was kind of a joke everyone laughed at.
Well, what's that pizza place in the mall that you always?
Sbarro?
Yeah, that's another one. that
Oh.
people...
favorite New York pizza place.
Isn't that interesting how it came full circle? That's not the New York place you were talking about, huh?
No, God, no.
Cody says, you guys are missing Cheddar's croissants. They're amazing. And Josh in Heartland says, Cheesecake Factory's dark wheat by a mile. I'm telling you, man, there is a whole population of people out there who love the dark bread at Cheesecake Factory, so much so that you can buy it in the grocery store. Like, Cheesecake Factory was like, people are eating this at an alarming rate. Maybe we should make it available to them outside of the Cheesecake Factory.
You know where people aren't asking for food outside of Cracker Barrel? Nowhere. Nobody wants Cracker Barrel anywhere. They put those biscuits on sale. Nobody's going to touch
I'm going to bring some in with the... Oh, and someone reminds me that it is the cinnamon honey butter that goes with the Cracker Barrel biscuits. Again, not a flattering photograph, I'll be honest. Could have used a little Photoshop there on the photograph there, Cracker Barrel.
I think you bringing in is a bad idea because a biscuit does not travel. Biscuits do not travel.
Yeah, they don't.
They need to be fresh, warm. Yeah. They're not going to maintain integrity.
I would maintain they never had integrity.
And also, I've got a problem. The same applies to Texas Roadhouse. Anything that they have to zhuzh up and make special butter, they're covering. They're covering for lack of goodness in the bread. We call that the okie doke where I'm from.
If you need something other than just regular butter, maybe the bread's not that
Butter's
good.
been doing it for so long. It's worked for eons.
I cannot get over the picture of what happened to the one in West Bend. And you guys can Google it if you want. But
the Cracker Barrel?
Does anyone know? No, Texas Roadhouse.
Well, now I'm going to Google it.
You had a disgruntled cook?
No.
Yes.
AC and Tosa says Olive Garden can't hold a candle to Fazoli's breadstick, and if you don't add Texas Roadhouse, this list is incomplete. All right, Texas Roadhouse getting some love from AC and Tosa.
Not in West Bend.
I thought Red Lobster was on its way to bankruptcy also. That says Jerriad in Canton, Ohio.
They got saved.
Did they really?
I believe so. They did have to shut some down, but it was literally because of one specific promo they ran, which was like unlimited shrimp or something.
They could like people went nuts.
It literally bankrupted the company. One ill-advised promo, and they said, well, we got to close the doors.
How does that work? Do you just not know how much people like shrimp? Is that one of those things where it's like, how much shrimp could people eat? And then you got Homer Simpson rolling in. What's that line? Him no man. My eating machine.
Here you go again with that quote.
I think that was pretty close. I think I missed an adjective or two in there, but it's pretty close. We'll put it on the poll. We'll take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Let me see if I can get 100% accuracy for the remaining part of the show.
You might think my devastating loss by one rebound or 1 point from Anthony Edwards would discourage me. Make me not want to gamble anymore, but I'm not going to quit. That's why I want you to download the Wanna Parlay app. It is so much fun, and you can compete against me and all other Jen, Gabe, and Chewy listeners to see who can combine a few picks and build the best parlay. It's just $2 for a shot at taking home a huge cash prize. It's a blast and so simple to use. There are new hockey, basketball, baseball, and combat sports contests every single week. And again, the best part, it's only $2 to enter a parlay into a contest. Here's what you should do. Download the Wanna Parlay app, click around, and if you decide you want to get into the action, use promo code JGC for a 100% deposit match up to $250. Put in $20, they'll give you $20 more. That's promo code JGC. Download Wanna Parlay app today. Must be 18 years old to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Backups on northbound 43 going from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Also northbound Fond du Lac Avenue right at I-43. We do have the right lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. Northbound 41 slowing out of the Zoo interchange all the way up past North Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by the Yelich Home Plate Charity Concert. Join Christian at the historic Pabst Theater featuring the Goo Goo Dolls, Nicotine Dolls, and comedian Charlie Barons. VIP tickets and more at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Cloudy skies with afternoon rain snow mix, slushy accumulation possible, a high of 42. Tonight, mix ends early, then cloudy skies with a low of 34. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner,
it can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
For free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired.
And we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
we can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
Unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. For a limited time, enjoy exclusive seasonal rates starting at $139. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
From the opening tip to the final buzzer, a Milwaukee Bucks full season membership puts you in the heart of the action for every unforgettable moment. The crowd's roar, the buzzer beater that you'll never forget, the unparalleled thrill of watching your Milwaukee Bucks live. This is more than a game, it's an experience. Get your Bucks full season membership and be a part of every game and every emotion. You'll be on your feet from start to finish. Get in on the action at bucks.com/full.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How do you get to 10 in NFL in the football game? How do you do that?
You can have 5 safeties.
That's a great point.
Which would also be a great endorsement for Derek Carr.
2 field goals, 2 safeties.
2 field goals, 2
also
safeties.
Also a great endorsement for the quarterback. Continue.
Yes.
What else do we have?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, little lady, I know you're feeling crazy. All your other friends are busy making them babies. Been out in the real world.
Bucks fans, it's time to show off your skills, and a pair of Bucks tickets are on the line. We know this time of year where we're all a little distracted with basketball, whether it's at home, on the driveway hoop, on the court, in a gym, or even rolling up a ball of paper and shooting hoops into the garbage at work. We're all trying to get buckets. We want you to show us your best trick shots. Send us a video at ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter using the hashtag BucksTrickShot of your creative shots. If you send it in before, I guess, today, you could win 2 Bucks tickets to the regular season finale on April 13th against Detroit. Remember, that's hashtag BucksTrickShot on Twitter to submit your stuff. We talked a little bit at the beginning of the show about the Bucks last night, their wild fourth quarter en route to a win over the Timberwolves. I wasn't aware that in the West, I obviously pay more attention to the East, but in the West, Gabe, you were telling me that there's quite a log jam.
Oh, it's crazy.
And that loss actually affected the Timberwolves worse than the win helped the Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks have a little bit of cushion if they were to fall to the 6th seed, so the win helped that cushion. But Minnesota losing dropped them down to 8. So right now they would be in the play-in portion of the Western Conference playoffs.
Chewy, when you get a win like that, down 24, come back to rally to the victory, can that propel you for a deep run in the playoffs? Or is it more of like, it feel good vibes, but it can't carry you that far?
I would say no, because they got to look at the first 3 quarters of the game and say, okay, why were we down by 24 in the first half? So there's obviously stuff that needs to be cleaned up, or they weren't ready to play, or whatever. Maybe use it as a tool of what they can do. Because Minnesota's, are they a good team?
Yeah.
Are they as good as last year?
No.
Because I thought they were going to be one of the top teams in the NBA this year.
Yeah, and then they traded away their second best player.
So that's, what, it can be, because I
What's the biggest comeback you were a part of?
I mean, I really don't. It was nothing crazy like that, because being down 24 in an NBA game is probably the equivalent of what, 21 in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Maybe 10 and came back in the second quarter and won, but nothing crazy like that. But I go back to, it's kind of the reverse, where remember when Green Bay, I forget what year it was undefeated going into like week 13, 14? And then they played the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs kind of figured them out, and it destroyed them.
Yeah.
It destroyed the Packers to where they lost all their confidence. I think they finished 15-1 that year.
They did.
And then lost in the first round. So it can happen. That's just an example of the opposite.
Chewy, what year were you drafted?
92.
Do you remember a comeback on November 1st, 1992? Packers rallied from a 17-point deficit to beat the Lions 27-24?
At
Lambeau.
At Lambeau. I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
But you were there.
But I remember, what I do remember, speaking of Detroit, I can't remember, because we played them back-to-back. We had to play them the last game of the year and then had to go to the playoffs and play. And we were about to go down, I believe, Gabe, by 14, and then Teague, they were going to score. They were like on the 4-yard line to go up, I believe, by 14, and Teague picks it off, goes 100 and something yards, and all of a sudden the game's tied. And then we wind up winning that game.
Yeah, the playoff game, right? In 93?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that was the Sterling, Brett running opposite way. And
that was the Sterling game-winning
That was a crazy game.
What year was that one?
93.
That was one of the more crazier games I played in, because we're like, geez, we're going to go down 14 in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden it's tied up.
I got a couple more here that ChatGPT has aggregated in the last 30 seconds. September 20th, 1992, Packers 24, Bengals 23. You were down 23-10 in the fourth quarter.
That was Brett
Taylor.
That was Brett when he came in.
Threw a 5-yard touchdown pass to Sterling Sharp, followed by a game-winning 35-yard touchdown pass to Kittrick Taylor with 13 seconds left. And then
that was the extra point where Brett, first time holding an extra point, they have a picture of he just let the ball go. And we would have lost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, gone to overtime and potentially would have lost, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he needed the extra point.
Yeah.
October 9th, 1994, Packers 24, Dolphins 17, down 17-3 in the second quarter. Now, not as much late game heroics there, but the Packers scored 21 unanswered points, including 2 touchdown passes from Brett Favre to
Josh?
Josh, I didn't realize you were playing back in the 90s.
It's a good game for me.
Try again.
Was that home or away?
I'm guessing on the road, just because of the way it's structured. But it says the Packers scored 21 unanswered points, including 2 touchdown passes from Brett Favre to Mark Chmura.
Wow. I don't remember
What
that
year
game
was
at all.
1994, October 9th, 1994.
Did you say the Dolphins?
Yeah, it says Packers-Dolphins, 24-17. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who to believe here, Chewy or ChatGPT.
I would trust Chewy. I would trust Chewy.
Are you looking it up right now?
Yes, I would trust Chewy.
Did he not get 2 touchdown passes?
He did not. He had a target that game.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's an error.
Yeah.
On the old, did they win that game 24-17?
They won in 24. They lost. Okay. What year was this?
1994.
Yeah, they lost to the Dolphins 24-14.
Jeez Louise.
September 11th, 1994, Packers lost to the Dolphins.
September 11th isn't even the date. That's crazy town. Okay, the other one it has here, Chewy, I guess we'll go to you for accuracy.
Okay.
January 8th, 1994. Is that the one you guys were talking about before? Wild card game against the Lions?
Gabe, was that it?
Yes, that would have been it. So it was the 93 season, but that playoff game would have been in 94.
I do remember that game.
Favre threw 3 touchdown passes, including a game-winning 40-yard strike to Sterling Sharp, 55 seconds remaining, advancing the Packers in the playoffs. Wow, that one entry there is wildly inaccurate.
When I was using ChatGPT to help with Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, it regularly got 5th grade level questions wrong.
Yeah. The Packers did come from behind down 17-3 against the Rams that year, winning 24-17.
In what year, Gabe?
This was 94 against the Rams. Chewy still had nothing to do with the win. Don't have him down for a single reception in that game either.
94. Yes, that would be accurate.
Pretty bad, ChatGPT. Pretty bad. Let this be a lesson.
To who?
Anyone who uses ChatGPT. I tell you guys, when I use it for excavating stories, I always ask, are you sure about this? Like, there have been a couple times where it's like very clear that the math ain't mathin', and then it'll be like, actually, thank you so much for that. Thank you for asking, it will say. Thank you for checking. You're like, what the? So, all right, good to know.
ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Podcast is coming to Green Bay April 23rd. Field Yates, Daniel Dopp, Mike Clay, Liz Loza, and Stefania Bell doing a live show from the Tundra Trio. And ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend to Green Bay to see the show happen live. Right now, caller number 3 wins 2 tickets to ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Live at the Tundra Trio. See the show up close, meet all of the hosts, and get complimentary food and drinks and Fantasy Focus Football Podcast merch. Caller number 3, 800-990-3776. Visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com for full details.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Evan Cohen here. When the draft clock is ticking, you've got to pick the best talent, regardless of position, to fit your team's needs. Well, if you're hiring for your business, you want to find the best talent for any of your roles. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology hustles to find qualified candidates for your job immediately. And if you see a standout candidate, ZipRecruiter lets you personally invite them to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
What's up, guys? We're back this year with my annual Home Plate charity concert presented by American Family Insurance. We'll be at the Pabst Theater on April 17th with performances from the Goo Goo Dolls and the Nicotine Dolls. Proceeds will benefit Live Like Lou, Visit Milwaukee, and the Brewers Community Foundation. There are sponsorship opportunities and tickets on sale now, so click the link in my bio to check it out, and I'll see you there.
Christian Yelich's Home Plate charity concert, presented by American Family Insurance, April 17th at the Pabst Theater. Get your tickets now at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich.
Attend Biz Expo May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center and the keynote on resilient leadership, thriving in challenging times. Stay for the strategy seminars and connect with customers. Biz Expo is May 13th. Register at biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5-9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest until 2030, plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What we need is a chart. And every week, we take the shirtless picture of Chew, and we move that to wherever the prediction is of how many wins that they
6,
have.
8,
6,
7.
I think that's how it goes now, right?
8,
and they
6,
lost in each
7, 5, 3, 0, 9.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody come hang. Let's go out with the best.
We put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll this morning. Which would you rather have happen with last night's Wild Bucks fourth quarter comeback against the Timberwolves? The Bucks win or win your $1,000 parlay that cost $20 and the Bucks lose? 80% of people say, show me the money.
That's not shocking.
80% of people.
Not shocking.
And to your point, it wouldn't have affected the Bucks as dramatically as the loss affected the Timberwolves. And yet this time of year, they are trying to build momentum. They are trying to show that if Dame has to be out for an extended period during the playoffs, that this is a team that can win those tough games against tough teams. And I think that could go a long way. What else did we ask? Which restaurant's complimentary bread is the best of all the complimentary breads? Texas Roadhouse is running away with this thing, you guys. They have nearly 50% of the vote. Topping Red Lobster, topping Olive Garden. Oliver Garden is what we have on there. Oliver. The Oliver Garden.
Whoops.
And Cracker Barrel.
Oh, what percent does Cracker Barrel have, Jen? Just out of curiosity.
4%.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you.
Because it stinks.
It's good.
It's bad.
They're good biscuits.
I wanted to keep Texas Roadhouse off, too, because the bread's not that great. It's all the butter. And the butter special.
PED. They have a PED.
Well, but somebody also was saying that the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits isn't the flavoring in those biscuits a big part of its success?
Yeah, but it's baked into the biscuit. You're not putting it on afterwards.
So if you
as
baked
the
the butter in the biscuit, then it'd be fine.
Correct. But by putting the butter on, that's post-P, that's a performance-enhancing drug.
I mean, also, the breadsticks at Olive Garden, do you think you're just getting a stick of bread?
No, it's got seasoning on it.
Yeah, of course.
A little butter, little Italian seasoning. Why are you chuckling over there, big guy?
Here we go. Good laugh about Gabe's favorite place to go now. Cracker. I know what he's getting him for his birthday. Gift certificate to the Cracker Barrel.
Are you going to watch me throw the garbage can on my way out?
Oh, come on. You'd at least re-gift it.
Nope. I don't want anybody else to experience it.
Punish them. Maybe his worst enemy.
Wildy and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great day, everybody.
Northbound 43 backing up right past Fond du Lac Avenue.